Okay, so this is BTEC Business Level 3 video, and it's Unit 3, and it's P1, and it's the first video, so it's part 1, and there's going to be a couple more videos to come after this. The first thing that you had to do for this piece of work was talk about what it was marketing. You had to come up with a couple of definitions. What I asked you for was to provide a couple of definitions of marketing, quoted from textbooks, from online resources, and then to summarise what you thought marketing meant based upon them. So get that bit done first, and then you need to have a look at aims and objectives. So the first thing is you need to tell us what the objective is for McDonald's. Now, if you all remember from the lesson when I was asking you what you thought, I think the number one thing that came out is that McDonald's is trying to grow for an organisation which is owned by, in the private sector, so it's owned by individuals that are trying to make a profit. It is absolutely critical that McDonald's grows. If McDonald's is able to grow, then it's able to make more profit. If it's able to make more profit, those owners are happy, and the risk that they took in setting up the business or investing in the business is paid off. And so for that reason, growth is always going to be the big issue for McDonald's. You've then got to link that to one of these marketing objectives, which are down here. So if you're unsure, have a look in the textbook at what each one of these means, but you're then going to link it. So after you've told us that, why it's important for an organisation in the private sector like McDonald's to grow, you'd have to say what marketing objective, so what can the marketing department within McDonald's do, or what objective should they set themselves to allow McDonald's to grow. So let's just pick one, because you could pick any of these, but let's just pick this brand awareness. If we make people aware of McDonald's as a brand, then we should get more customers. If we get more customers, then the business should eventually grow. That's how you can link together the marketing objective with the corporate objective, or the bigger objective for the organisation. And you can link any of those marketing objectives in order to try to make McDonald's grow. It doesn't matter which one you link. But if you've said that the objective, the private sector objective for McDonald's is growth, then you have to pick one of those marketing objectives and say how meeting one of those marketing objectives will allow the business to achieve its overall corporate objective. So then if we have a look at the Royal Armouries, once you've done that, we have a look at the Royal Armouries. The objectives for Royal Armouries are one of these four here: service provision, growth of range of provision, cost limitation, and meeting quality standards. So businesses which are in the public sector, which aren't owned by private individuals, they're not trying to make a profit. So of these four objectives, which one do you think is the Royal Armouries really trying to meet? Which do you think is the most appropriate of these four objectives for the Royal Armouries? Once you've picked one, explain why you think it is the most important or most appropriate for the Royal Armouries. You're then going to pick your marketing objective. And so your marketing objective, again, has to link to the corporate objective. So if you're going to say that you think that the Royal Armouries' most important or appropriate thing would be service provision, making sure they provide the service, that's fine. But then which marketing objective will help them provide that service? And you've got to try and link those together. And we're only talking about 2 or 3 sentences for each of these bullet points here. So I think that the main objective for McDonald's would be pick one and explain why. I think this is because we're not looking for a massive amount of work here. You can, you'll be able to wrap all this up in sort of 8 to 10 lines, I imagine. So don't spend huge amounts of time writing about this. What is the corporate objective? And then can you pick a marketing objective that will help them achieve that corporate objective? Then you're going to go into the Ansoff matrix, and this is what people have been saying they've been struggling with, is this Ansoff matrix idea. Now, so in your work, you are going to draw this table. You're going to make sure that you get these labels in: the products existing new, markets existing new, and you're going to get these little headings in as well. But then you're going to fill in these boxes. So you're going to create this grid, but you're going to give yourself an opportunity to write in here. Now, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to do an Ansoff matrix for McDonald's. And what you are going to have to do is you're going to have to find products that McDonald's sell which fit into each one of these boxes. So if we first of all, I'll just make that a bit smaller. If we're looking at this market penetration strategy. So that's existing products being sold to existing markets. So people you already sell to, selling the same stuff. So if we have a quick look here for McDonald's, if you come onto the McDonald's website, mcdonalds.co.uk home, and find the menu, then what we're looking for is products which McDonald's sell, which are aimed at their existing customers, and are the products that are McDonald's has sold forever. And so these three items which pop up as soon as we click on the menu, these are items which could be seen as McDonald's core products, the things that they've always sold and the things that their customers go back again and again and again for. So all you'd need to do in your piece of work is, in this box you might say market penetration strategy, and you could say there are products that McDonald's sells which could be considered to be the products that they've always sold. Products which McDonald's sells to its existing customers, or its existing products that it sells to its existing customers are, and then list a couple of the most famous McDonald's products. Then we're going to have a look in the, if we go next to, which one did I pick next? So, okay, so the Happy Meal. If you think about the Happy Meal is quite interesting in that it sells existing products, so things like cheeseburgers, fries, that it's always sold, but it sells them to a new market, to the kids. So for me, you could argue that the Happy Meal fits down here in this sort of market development strategy. Same products, but you're trying to get different people to buy them. You want the kids to be able to say to their parents, come on, let's go to McDonald's and let's have a Happy Meal. But the stuff that you're selling is no different to anything that you always used to sell. So you could, in this market development strategy, say a marketing development strategy for McDonald's could have been the Happy Meal. This is because the Happy Meal was selling the same old stuff, but it was trying to get new people to come. Alright, obviously make it sound a little bit nicer than that, but that's what we're trying to say. If we have a look at this one over here, sort of the product development strategy, this is the menu. This is the product development strategy. None of these burgers existed before, okay? So if we look here, product development is new products, but for the same people. The people who buy these burgers are the same people who are buying this burger and this burger, the Big Mac and the Quarter Pounder. It's the same people who are buying these burgers here, the spicy and the barbecue and the classic. But these are new products that have been designed for the existing customers. So in this box, this product development one, make sure that you talk about that. List a couple of the products which are new products but are designed for the same people who always used to go to McDonald's. And then finally we've got this diversification strategy over here. So in the diversification strategy, when we were talking in class the other day, we were chatting about India. This is McDonald's India's website, okay? And these are all the foods that are being sold in India. So the burgers, obviously, as you can see, look completely different because they're not made from beef. So it was a completely different product being sold to a completely different group of people. And so this could be considered diversification for McDonald's. Something that struck me as well the other day, is if somebody wanted to comment on this, is this here, the Mac Cafe. Is this diversification? Is this completely new customers, so new markets, and is it a completely new product? Well, I don't think you can argue that the vanilla latte was something that they didn't sell. Now they are selling it. Are they trying to get different people to come in? Because if you argue that it's different people and it's a new product, then it's diversification. If you think it's the same people, so maybe you always shopped at McDonald's and now actually you also go in for a vanilla latte, then that means it's existing markets and it's new products. So it's a product development strategy. So you could use the cafe here or here as a substitute for some of the other options that are available to you. So that's how you're going to complete your answer matrix for McDonald's. So let's just have a quick look at the Royal Armouries, because that's probably the harder one. So the Royal Armouries, you've got to look for what's its existing product that it's selling to its existing customers. So for the Royal Armouries, if we look at all the things the Royal Armouries do, there are 6 galleries within the Royal Armouries. This is what they do all the time. The war gallery, the peace gallery, the tournament gallery, the ornamental gallery, self-defense and hunting gallery. So those 6 galleries are the galleries which are there all the time. Okay, so in terms of the Ansoff matrix, and we're talking about the things which are its market, the products which form part of its market penetration strategy. It's the products that it offers all the time to its existing customers. So in this box you are going to explain that the galleries, the 6 galleries which are permanent galleries and do not change, they are the products which McDonald's offers as part of its market penetration strategy. Sorry, the Royal Armouries offers as part of its market penetration strategy. So now let's have a look at market development. And market development, we are looking for existing products which are being offered to new people or trying to get new customers. So let's have a think about this for a second. If we look at this one, some Leeds events that are coming up. For Leeds, there is an Easter tournament. So they're going to have horses and jousting and stuff like that, which is going to be taking place during Easter. During Easter as well, they've got some nights in training, so watching the knights fight each other, and also some Easter crafts things and activities that are taking place. If we have a think about this, this is the same stuff that the Royal Armouries always does, but they're just trying to offer it in a slightly different way, so they've given it a different advertising campaign. So it's the same things that they do every single day, but they are trying to get new people to come, i.e. kids and parents during the Easter holidays. So in your explanation here, you are going to pick one of these products and explain this is no different particularly than any of the other things that the Royal Armouries is doing, but it's trying to get new customers in. When we think about product development, we've got the historical martial arts. So it's people interested in history, which means that it's the existing market. It would normally go to the Royal Armouries, people who are interested in history. That's the people who've always been after. But actually, this is martial arts. So this is teaching them martial arts. It's not just showing them weapons and giving them the chance to have a look at them, which is what the Royal Armouries normally does. This is a new product. So this is right over here. New product, but being offered to the same people who would normally go to the Royal Armouries. So in this box, again, pick that item and explain how this is product development. And then finally, we're looking at diversification. So for diversification, maybe the Martial Arts Club could be a really, really good example. Completely new product, not something that the Royal Armouries does, and then it's being offered to people who maybe would never go to the Royal Armouries. So this idea that diversification is completely new customers and a completely new product, and that would fit the bill. So in this box, again, a little picture and explain how the Martial Arts Club is diversification. Any help that you require, just come and see me. But other than that, if you're unsure, watch the video again, use the textbook, have a read about what each one of these Ansoff matrix elements mean, and you are just trying to explain or show what products or services that the business offers which fit somewhere into this matrix. Okay, best of luck.